Hi, welcome to lesson 24, session 4. This is our refine session. This is, as I always say, when we take everything we've learned about dividing unit fractions in word problems and we wrap it up into a nice, neat little package and we show everything that we've learned. The really cool thing is we've actually been doing this for a little over a week now, and so we've really got a really strong understanding of how we can divide fractions and how it relates to both multiplication and division using number lines. We've used number lines, we've used area models, we've used pictures, all sorts of ways. So we're going to go ahead right now and go to page 487. We'll be on pages 487 through 490 in our Ready Classroom Math Workbook. So go ahead and go to page 487 now. All right, so on page 487, we see quite a bit here. We've got an example up above, and we're just going to go ahead and go straight to this number 1. And number 1 says this: Corinne picked 1/4 gallon of blackberries. She poured equal amounts of berries into 4 containers. What fraction of a gallon is in each container? Show your work. So first of all, this problem is talking about blackberries, and we want to know what fraction of a gallon is in each container. We know that she starts with 1/4 of a gallon of blackberries. And we know that she's going to take this 1/4 of a gallon of blackberries and she's going to divide it into 4 equal containers, or into 4 containers. So we're taking this 1/4 and dividing it and putting it into 4 containers. So if I were going to do this problem, you might just choose to do the equation. You might also choose to use an area model. Some might choose a number line. I would say my 2 favorites would be either an area model or just using the equation. But that's me. You might have a different favorite. Okay, number 2 says this: Cooper's USB drive is half full with 5 video files. And this is a USB drive, okay? And it stores information that you could put into a computer. So that's what the purpose of this is. And right now, it is halfway filled with all of its data to make 5 videos. Now, we know that each video file is the same size, and we want to know what fraction of the USB drive does one video file use. So we know that the USB is half full, because it says that it's half full, and we're going to divide it by the 5 videos that are filling that USB drive to make it halfway full. So what is 1/2 divided by 5? Again, here you might choose just to simply do the equation, or you might want to draw, again, my favorite, an area model, where you show 1/2 and then you break that 1/2 into 5 each equal sections, and then you get your answer. Number 3 says this: Devonte is studying for a history test. He uses 1/8 of a side of one sheet of paper to write notes for each historical event. He fills 2 full sides of one sheet of paper. Which expression could be used to find how many sides Devonte makes for notes? So first I drew 2 sheets of paper. So we have 2 sheets of paper. And then we know that he uses 1/8 of a side of paper to make notes on. So we want to know if he fills 2 full pages of notes, how many eighths is that? What does that equation look like? Which of these is the correct expression? Then Barry chose D as his correct answer. How did he get that answer? If Barry's correct, you're going to show me how. If Barry is not correct, you're going to tell me what he might have done wrong. Number 4. Number 4 says this: Elise picks 6 pounds of apples. She uses a half a pound of apples to make 1 container of applesauce. How many containers of applesauce can Elise make with all the apples? So she has 6 pounds of apples. She uses a half a pound to make 1 container. How many containers can she make with all the apples? So you're going to take your 6 pounds of apples and find out how many 1/2 sections fit into 6 pounds of apples. And then that is your correct answer. For number 5, you're going to look. It says this: students are running in a relay race. Each team will run a total of 3 miles. Each member of a team will run 1/3 of a mile. How many students will a team need to complete the race? Circle the correct number below. So we're looking for the number here to find out how many students will a team need to complete the race. So will they need 1/9 of a student, 3 students, 9 students, 12 students, or 36 students to complete the race? Now they gave you this number line, but they were a little tricky on the number line. They didn't label the number line 0, 1, 2, and 3, but then they broke it into quite a few parts. And so I did want to help you out a bit. And so I went through and put a red tick mark at every 1/3 of a mile. And so if you look at this number line, one runner would be from 0 to 1/3. And then this would be another runner, and so on and so forth. So how many students will the team need to complete this? You don't need to really worry about this picture. You just need to circle the correct answer. Number 6, Tanya has 1/3 of a cup of a cake left over from a party. She cuts the leftover cake into 6 equal parts. Man, she's cutting 1/3 of a cake into pretty small pieces. They won't give very much cake. That's sad. Anyway, she cuts the leftover cake into 6 equal pieces to store in the freezer. What fraction of the original cake is each piece? So we have 1/3 of a cake, and we're going to divide it into 6 equal parts. So if I were you, you could use an equation. As I always say, you could use an area model, but use your best method to decide what it would look like and how big each piece would be if you had 1/3 of a piece of cake and you cut that 1/3 into 6 equal parts. When you're done, go ahead and go to page 490. All right, on page 490, we see this problem. Marina has a pattern to make bows that require 1/4 of a yard of ribbon for each bow. So one bow is going to be 1/4 of a yard. We're going to fill in this table over here to show how many bows she can make from a given length of ribbon. So we know, so the hint that I have here is how many bows can be made with 1 yard. So if you had 1 yard of ribbon, how many fourths would be in 1 yard of ribbon? Well, if we drew 1 yard of ribbon and we broke it into fourths, how many equal sections do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 yard of ribbon would be 4 fourths. So we could make 4 bows with 1 yard of ribbon. How many bows could we make with 2 yards, with 3 yards, and with 4 yards? Now, be careful because you're going to be looking at a quiz later today, and then I think even on your unit assessment, you're going to have a problem similar to this. But where these numbers are here, instead of it going 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes like 1, 4, 6, or 1, 3, 5. Or it does something like that where it's a little bit tricky because it doesn't always go right in order. So make sure you always pay attention to the number that's on this side of the table before you fill out this side of the table. So, all right, go ahead and finish. So you guys can do number 7. And then number 8 is a 2-part problem. Number 8 says this: Ted serves 1/6 of a gallon of ice cream. So I actually drew the gallon of ice cream here for you, and I shaded in 1/6 of a gallon of ice cream. He puts equal amounts of ice cream into each of 4 bowls. So we need to break this 6 into 4 equal parts. Then, how many gallons of ice cream does Ted put in each bowl? So after you break this into 4 parts, you're going to tell me how much of what is the fraction of amount, or how much goes in 1 bowl. So there is blank. It's going to be a fraction. ice cream in each bowl. Then I want you to write a division equation that tells you how you solve this. So you had your 1/6 of an ice cream and you divided it into 4 bowls. So you're going to write a division equation that shows this picture. Then you're going to write a multiplication equation to check your answer. Remember, once you know your division equation, you have your whole, your part, and your part. Remember to write the multiplication sentence. You multiply your part times your part to get your whole. So it'll be part times part equals whole. Finally, for number 9, you're going to write a word problem represented by 1/5 divided by 4. So if you really don't know what word problem you want to write, you could always write something similar to this problem up above. Just change the numbers. So you could still be talking about ice cream, and you could still be, so you might have 1/5 of a gallon of ice cream and 4 friends are going to split it. And then that will tell you how to find out how much ice cream each friend will get. So you're going to write a word problem and then solve. You can do an equation, a number line, area model, picture, however you want to do it. You can show how to solve that problem. And with that, that's the end of today's lesson. If you have any questions, you can always email your teacher. See you next time.